Hello everyone, my name is KHEmblem, or just Emblem for short, and welcome to the channel. Today I want to go through our journey thus far into making a unguided character within Runescape 3. If you've checked out my videos before, check out the timestamps below. I'm going to have it linked as to what we'll be covering new stuff, while I kind of catch anybody up who's tuning in for the first time on what we've been doing thus far. So, let's begin. First things first, what is an unguided character? Well, RuneScape has a lot of information that the game doesn't really tell you very easily. So a lot of people will use outside resources such as YouTube videos or the RuneScape wiki to guide them through the game itself. Trivialize a lot of the quests, for example. Well, for our playthrough, we are going to not be using any of that. We won't be looking at the RuneScape wiki, we won't be looking at any YouTube videos, and any other sources of information about the game, other than the official news, will be off limits. Instead, I will be looking through everything myself, and just doing what I remember based on experience that started about 15 years ago with the game. And our goal, at least for the moment, is going to be unlocking the quest point cape. Probably a bit of a lofty goal, considering that is one of the main things people use the wiki for, the quests themselves. But I think we can do it. And I'd like you guys to join me on this journey. Oh, and to make it just a little bit more difficult, we are doing this on an Iron Man account. Now, for what we've actually done so far, we made our character, went through Tutorial Island, and found our way into Birth Orb, where we defeated our first boss and the very beginner tutorial. After that, it is of course time to start working on the lodestones, get all those unlocked. So that's the very first thing you want on a brand new account. There are plenty of them to unlock, and the free travel pretty much anywhere in the world to Gilnor makes it very convenient to get around. There are a few trials and tribulations here and there, but for the most part it's not too bad. The only real issue is, of course, White Wolf Mountain. And we only died once. Okay, maybe twice. But after that, we were able to get the rest with no issue, and are able to travel across freely, at least so far. There are a few that are locked behind quests or other tasks that we just aren't ready to tackle at the current moment. But we at least got what we could. And we even decided to head to Anachronia and unlock the area over there, which also lets us start gathering the resources for like higher level town halls and all that stuff. Then it was time to start questing. And where better to start than with one I have no idea about, with the new necromancy quest. Turned out to be pretty simple in the long run, but we did get a pretty cool cutscene with it, and a good introduction to this brand new skill. But we managed to complete it in a cool 27 minutes, 10 seconds. After that, it was about time to start exploring this brand new city. So we spent the time doing that, checking out the shops, leveling up our necromancy, all the way to level 20. And then we started the quest Killy Row. However, we needed a little bit of cash in order to complete the quest, and I had absolutely none. So I decided to go ahead and take a different route and start working on my thieving, which brought us to the quest Buyers and Sellers, which should be a pretty easy quest, except I might be slightly blind. Haven't been totally tested yet, as I kind of passed by Robin several times. But we got it done in the end in a very nice 16 minutes on the dot. At this point, as will probably be a common theme, I got distracted again and decided to do the monthly god statues for great construction and prayer experience. However, one of them is locked behind Mauritania, so I decided to go ahead and do the Priest and Peril quest, which honestly was a little bit of a pain due to my low combat level, but we managed to pull through and get it out to victory, and it only took us 22 minutes and 18 seconds. After completing the quest, we just went ahead and quickly went through the rest of our god statues and got that sweet free XP. We got our prayer up to level 16 and our construction up to level 12. Now that we'd already unlocked one new skill, I decided to go ahead and do the tutorial for another one. And we went ahead and did the archaeology tutorial this time. Wasn't too bad, just something I've actually gone through a few times before now. And we got our first certification. From there, I decided our next course of action would be to start working on our smithing level. Smithing is great for melee equipment and for just general tools for various different skills. So, in order to get that up as high as possible, one of the best early game quests is the Knight's Sword, at least as far as I can remember. But for that quest, you need a red berry pie and iron bars. So, we'll have to get 10 mining and smithing and get our cooking up just a little bit. And just like that, there is our 10 mining. Just gotta drop off all these extra ores we just got, and then let's go ahead and work on our cooking next. And with the help of a little bit of crawfish, we now have our 10 cooking. In fact, looks like we're gonna hit 11. Yay. But while getting all those levels and our skilling, we did find all these strange stones. So we then went to the Rock Museum and got our special bag to carry these stones in and get bonus experience from training different skills. From there, it was time to go ahead and make our red berry pie for the Knight's Sword quest, but I couldn't find a pie dish. While I was looking around in Lumbridge, I decided to go ahead and do the Cook's Assistant quest. Didn't take us too long. In fact, it was only a total of 4 minutes and 55 seconds. With that done, we decided to continue our quest for a pie dish, and I did get sidetracked just a little bit to raise our smithing a little bit. In fact, I got to level 5 smithing and realized we have the What's Mine is Yours quest that I can do. We once again get distracted by a quick little side trip to the Stronghold Security for an easy 10k and cool boots, before we head over to check Taverley to finally find our pie dish. It only took us 32 minutes. With our red berry pies made, it was now time to do the What's Mine is Yours quest, which I was hoping was get us to level 10 smithing. Getting the ores was easy enough, but we had the family conflict that lasted just a little bit too long. But we got it done in a nice, easy 24 minutes, 15 seconds. Unfortunately, it only got us to 8 smithing, but we used some of our bronze bars from earlier to get the rest of the way. We then took a little bit of time to get our iron bars, along with upgrading all of our other equipment to iron, and even got up to level 20 mining, so we would have it available after we finished the quest, and then it was finally time to begin the Knight's Sword quest. Had a little trouble fighting the squire at the beginning, but other than a little bit of a close call on the blue-right mining, the quest wasn't too difficult at all, and we managed to finish it in an easy 14 minutes, 44 seconds. Whew, and that catches us up with where we currently stand in the videos that are currently released. So, anybody that skipped ahead, welcome back. We're now where we started. Now that we have the level 30 smithing, I decide to go ahead and quickly knock out the doors tasks, since those should be pretty easy, and give me some free charges for bonus XP later. But in order to complete the second one, you do need to do the Death Plateau quest. So we went ahead and head over to Burthorpe and got that done real quick. And it only took us a pretty quick 17 minutes and 13 seconds. Mainly just running back and forth quite a bit. We then go ahead and do the Dork tasks. The first one, super easy, just make an item that he asked for real quick. It only took us a little over 2 minutes. And then the second one, a little bit longer, had to fix cannon at the Death Plateau. Took us about 9 minutes, but we got those done nice and quick. Now, I decided to start working on my combat stats a little bit. And while working on those, why not go ahead and work on Slayer at the same time? So I went to the new Slayer Master in Lumbridge And while there, I remembered that there is another beginner quest that I hadn't quite done yet, which is called the Blood Pact. So we went ahead and talked to Xenia here and got that quest started real quick. And also ended real quick too. It's a nice, simple, contained one, and only took us 6 minutes and 42 seconds. I then returned for a little bit more Slayer, and then suddenly remembered, oh wait, I never finished that Killy Row quest down at the Necromancy area. I should probably do that so I can upgrade my equipment. I head to the city of continue my progress on the quest, unlock my Necromancy prayers, and I even find that high vantage point that I need for the achievement diary. With all that completed, it is now time to finish up the Killy Row assignment, and it only took us about 5 days to get it done. Whoops. With that completed, I decided to go ahead and do a little bit more Slayer before deciding, getting my combat up would be pretty nice. And another fast way to get up your combat through a simple quest is the Waterfall quest. However, I'm missing a few runes. So, you know what, this is also a good chance to go ahead and raise up my rune crafting level. And the Wicked Hood is quite nice, so we get rune crafting all the way up to level 33. So in the future I can skip straight to the middle floor. It also gets me enough points for a Wicked Hood, only for me to realize, oh yeah, you get a free one in Birthorpe. Whoops again. But hey, it's worthwhile in the long run. Still in a skilling mood, I go ahead and start working on my mining level so I can finally obtain that mithril equipment. And after grabbing my mithril ores and getting the basic equipment, we end up with 32 mining and 34 smithing. Next, we have everybody's favorite pastime of agility training. Unfortunately, there's not many good courses until at least level 30, so I do some gnome agility, and we get to level 17 for now. I'll probably have to come back to this a little bit later though. At this point, I've decided on my next major goal, which is the Beneath Cursed Tides quest. I've only got a little under a week left in the month, and so I need to get those requirements done and begin the quest. As you can see, we already have the 30 mining and 30 smithing, but we still need wood cutting, fire making, cooking, attack, strength, and magic. Since we're going to be needing a lot of skills up, I decided to go ahead and unlock daily challenges so I can get some free XP and various different skills. I may not do them every day, but I'll try and keep up with them when I can. It takes a little bit of time, but we get it done. And then we move on to woodcutting and fire making, since those kind of go hand in hand. And we get ourselves the 30 fire making first, and then the 30 woodcutting. Got a little bit of fletching in there too. Kind of did things the long way, just so I could make fletching a little bit easier in the future. Got it all the way to level 17. Now with those out of the way, it was time to work on cooking. Best way to do that is with fishing as well, since they kind of go hand in hand and make each other faster. But my fishing level is pretty abysmal at the moment, so one of the things that I saw that I could do was the fishing contest quest. It took me a few attempts to get the quest even pop up, because I couldn't remember what the correct dialogue options were. I knew there was something about a vampire, and that we needed the garlic for that. But I forgot about the rated fishing bait that you need as well. But after getting those together real quick, didn't take us too long, only a total of 7 minutes 30 seconds. With our brand new level 18 fishing, I headed straight over to Catherby and tried some big net fishing. Doesn't work so well, so instead we just do anchovies and shrimp all the way to level 30. Our skill requirements are now out of the way, and it's time to start working on the combat skills. And I've got a Slayer quest to complete, so why don't we go ahead and start with that. And I may or may not have died to some giant bats. After that small embarrassment, I remembered that I still need to get the waterfall quest done. So I go ahead and just buy the water runes at one of the rune shops, and we get that started. This is a quest a lot of early accounts will try and complete. I remember bits and pieces of it. I don't remember the very end too well. I take my time, read through all of the materials. There's a few close calls, especially in the Tree Gnome Village maze, but we make it through. And while I'm there, I do start the Tree Gnome Village quest. We are in the middle of Waterfall, but it gets us free travel through the maze, and we'll just finish up the village quest once we do the Waterfall quest. I bring enough food to easily get through Galariel's tomb, and I do remember the key next to the skeletons in the actual waterfall area. And then it's just the final puzzle, which did take me a little bit to figure out to put the necklace on the statue. We get it all done, and it only took us a total of 25 minutes and 40 seconds. And it instantly boosts our attack and strength to the level 30 that we need. We then head back to the Tree Gnome Village, go ahead and finish up that quest real quick. There's nothing too difficult, just had to guess on the ballista a few times. We very quickly defeat our enemies and turn that in, taking the break for the finished waterfall after 27 minutes and 27 seconds. To complete both quests was just over 40 minutes. From there, the only skill left to raise is our magic level, which we start raising by doing a little bit of Slayer first, which may have also given us another death on the counter. I then remember about the Shattered Worlds minigame, where you get free equipment and food, and decided to get my last few levels there, while also earning some shards. And just like that, we hit our level 30 magic, and we have all of our requirements to complete Beneath Cursed Tides, with a few days to spare as well. So let's go ahead and get that done. We head to the Wizard Myrtle and get our quest started, and head down beneath the waves to save Tutorial Island from being turned into crab people. Nothing here's too difficult. I'd say the hardest puzzle is the code to crack into the bank safe. After a quick Harry Potter wizard duel, we finally finished the quest in quite long, actually, 41 minutes and 22 seconds. However, we can finally fill up our oyster for the month and check it out in just a few days, see what we get. Speaking of timed events, I go ahead and finally complete the troll invasion for the month as well. Additionally, I do the weekly events of the Wisp of the Grove, checking on the newbie adventurer Meg, and I finally go ahead and see if I can make it to Herby Werby, and find out that I can. Does anybody else maximize the herbology experience by only grabbing the herbs from the little guys? We then reach the very next day, where I proceed to do all the weeklies all over again. Herby Werby, Meg, and Wisp of the Grove. After that's completed, one of my daily quests involves archaeology, and I am so low level that it takes forever to get a single artifact. So, spend a little bit of time grinding that up and unlocking the inner area, and we end up reaching 17 archaeology. At this point, there's only about 3 days left in the month, and I try and do my dailies when I can, but the main thing I want to do at this point is unlock more areas and get some more quests done. So that's exactly what we do. The next one on our agenda is the Restless Ghost and Nature Spirit, because I want to unlock the rest of the Mauritania areas for later. First up with the Restless Ghost, though, it's actually an extremely simple quest now, as they move the head to the mining area just to the south. So it's actually our fastest quest to date at only 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Next is, as I mentioned, the Nature Spirit quest. Also not too difficult. I did have a little bit of trouble remembering the answer to the puzzle, where you have to stand as one of the special items. After that, it was nice and easy, but it did take us about 22 minutes, 46 seconds. Next up on the list, while not unlocking new areas, would unlock the easy achievement diary for the city of So I went ahead and did the Rune Mythos quest. This one wasn't too difficult, and basically just another tutorial. but with all the dialogue, it did take us 14 minutes 22 seconds. I then of course finished up the achievement diary and got our very first achievement item, which is a pocket slot of the Tome of Next on the list, I decided I wanted to go ahead and enter the Abyss, so we did the Into the Abyss mini quest. This one glitched out on me a little bit, I think. I don't know if I was entering a rune essence mine that didn't count or what, but it ended up making me do an extra place. So what should have been a nice, simple, quick quest ended up taking about 10 minutes, 30 seconds. Going back to unlocking places, the next area on my list was the city of Menifos, which means we gotta do all the desert quests. First one being Stolen Hearts. Placing Princely Rescue, this has a lot of dialogue and cutscenes in it, which they did a great job of, but it makes the whole thing a little bit long without much actual difficulty to it. We persuade our way into criminal organizations, snuck our way into secret hiding areas, fought through hostage prince situations, jumped across rooftops, and attempted to steal a diamond, all over the course of 46 minutes and 37 seconds. After which it almost immediately throws you into Diamond in the Rough. So, wanting to complete this path, we go ahead and start that one as well, where we jump back over rooftops, follow sundials in the desert, cut open some poop, fight off an old god, and complete our quest once more. Still not very difficult, but it did take us 44 minutes and 27 seconds. Finally, there's only one more quest to complete before we unlock Menifos, which is the Jack of Spades, which we start now. This one is just as easy, and just a little bit shorter, thankfully. But first we make our way across the desert on flying carpets, get escorted into the city of Menifos, and begin meeting leaders, and each one is visited by a very mysterious Jack of Spades. As we chase him around town, we eventually reach him underground and discover, oh, hey Ozon. He tells us a bit more about the corruption, but we go ahead and return the items to get an inn and complete the quest in 29 minutes 42 seconds. We then reach the final day of the month. Woo, almost there. And for this day, I decided to clean up just a few more quests and get us on a good foot for the next month. The first one being the Witch's House. I don't believe there's a safe spot in RuneScape 3, so I first begin by making myself a full set of steel armor, and then find the little kid who just wants his ball back, enter into the Witch's House, accidentally chalk myself on a gate, nearly die to the experiment, nearly this time, and come back and finish it off. I then return the boy his ball in only 12 minutes 24 seconds. Our final quest is one I for some reason remember extremely well, with Ernest the Chicken. I don't know what it is about this quest that it is ingrained in my memory, and it's part of one of the reasons I wanted to do this unguided. I'm able to pick up the pieces pretty easily, and the oil can down in the basement, which you would think would be the problem, is just something that I have memorized for the last 15 years. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I do. But we go turn in the items, and it only took us 7 minutes and 52 seconds. And that brings us to the end of the month. On screen, you'll see an image of my levels as of now. I know they're a bit blurry. I will try and get better copies in the future. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment down below on things you'd like to see in the future, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. I know this one took me quite a bit of time to get out. I do apologize. I'll make sure to get some more content out very quickly, and hopefully it catches up on to where the count is now. Also, in my community tab, you might find a poll on the type of videos you want. And I know some people have mentioned doing quick recaps like this one, and also some of my previous style. So if there are any quests in this video that you would like to see expanded upon, see my whole reaction to the quest, let me know, and I'll turn it into a full video. Once again, thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you all very, very soon.